Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday. So, Sunday, the 13th of October. I wanted to actually really felt like I needed to jump on and tap into the energies for those of us who have what I just simply call them other selves. Because that removes the romantic term from it. A lot of people call them twin flames. So the reason why I like to get rid of the romantic feeling from it is because the true purpose of the journey is to build ourselves up to what's called ascension. So basically building our vibration up on a spiritual level. And that's the true purpose of it. And that brings us to what's called unity consciousness. A lot of people call that, there's a lot of different names for it. It's Satori, Zen would probably be another name for it. Samadhi, basically a feeling of oneness with everything. Something that I know on a personal level, I feel like I haven't quite achieved it yet, but I feel like I'm getting closer to it. And especially the reason why I wanted to do this reading is I know that personally, I felt that over the last month, I'm definitely on definitely feel like I'm coming to that part of the journey. Also starting to experience the Kundalini awakening as well. So really starting to feel that energy in my spine building up, which is quite interesting. That's definitely a sign that you've met your other self or twin flame, as a lot of people call them. I'll probably have to change between the two terms. So I wanted to jump on and do a reading because I felt like this is a time where things are starting to really happen. So if you're currently with your other self, there's probably energies building up around you too. If you're not with your other self, there's definitely energy, like a pull to do things. So, so definitely, I know there was a pull for me to sort of reach out to mine, my other self, as I call her, but definitely the energies are high and turbulent. So I wanted to jump on and actually do a reading for this as well. If you don't know what a twin flame is or other self, I have been promising I'd make a video in regards to that, so you can help determine if you've met that person. But if you know, you know. So we'll jump straight into the reading. I have pulled out a number of cards, so this video may take a little bit of time, but I really felt like I needed to get a little bit detailed into it. So the first three cards I felt were energies that are happening at the moment, or energies that have been around the last week. So the first card I pulled out was the Star card. So don't know. Just go get my camera onto that. So So with the Star card, I definitely felt a feminine energy. So this is in regards to a reading for the Divine Feminine. If you don't know what the Divine Feminine is, I tend to use more scientific or more physics type terms because I really think this can all be explained through quantum physics, to be honest. Another term I use for twin flame is somebody who in the two people involved in the twin flame connection, it's not really a connection, you're the one self, but with the two people involved in the twin flame connection, it's the person who's having the spiritual awakening. I actually prefer to use the term spiritual polarity instead of divine feminine, simply because I'm a divine feminine and I don't want to be seen as feminine. Maybe that's a masculine sort of ego-driven response, but I just think it's more accurate, as well as if we just use a term like spiritual polarity. I have heard, there's another YouTuber who I agree with who actually likens it to more of a positive polarity. So there's a positive and a negative. Not to say the negative is bad and positive is good. It's just energy polarity. That's all it is. Even electricians will be able to tell you what polarity is. So there's positive and negative, nothing bad and negative. So, but anyway, that's my long-winded explanation on that. So that's in relation to the person with the spiritual polarity in the connection. So this reading is for them. I'd say if you don't hold that polarity, you're probably not watching this. So you're probably busy running away from that person. So what I'm feeling is that with everything that's going on at the moment energetically, this is a rejuvenating time. It doesn't feel like it, but there's definitely stuff going in the background with your soul. Okay. We don't often always feel it because we're only one aspect of the soul, simply because, you know, a classic example of that is your other self. That they are also another incarnation of your soul. Okay. So they have more of a physical or emotional polarity, or a negative polarity. But YouTubers will often throw around the term divine masculine. Okay, so they're focusing more sort of physical stuff, and I will get into a video where I'm explaining the energy dynamics, but really there's actually no difference between the two of you. You're just the one soul. When you get the two of you together, the best way of describing you two as a couple would be simply I am. So I hope that helps with helping to bring through what we call unity consciousness, which is the true meaning of union. The true meaning of union is not you two getting together. The true meaning of union is realizing that there's absolutely no difference between the two of you. You could be separate on other sides of the world, not communicating with each other, and be in union. How's that? And, you know, it's more often than not when you're in that state, yeah, they come back. But yeah, anyway, I'm beginning to find all this out myself. So, all right. So that's with this card. So yeah, there's more of a rejuvenating energy. There are definitely high energies in that card as well. So there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on for everyone at the moment. But yeah, for those of us who are in a twin flame dynamic, it's particularly turbulent at the moment. So yeah, navigating the currents is especially important at the moment. All right, and that's what I was getting with this card as well. That's the Ace of Wands. So definitely a lot of high energy around at the moment. I feel as though there's a lot of you know, I guess the best word to describe it would be that there's temptation to move back into separation consciousness, which is where you see the other person as separate. You start going through the dark night of the soul again. You can go through it multiple times. I've actually been through it a fair bit recently. It's not pleasant, although it's started to trigger something within myself. So what I was also feeling from this card is this is a path to balancing as well. All right, so balancing the energies. With those of us, you know, if you're watching this again, like I said, you probably have the spiritual polarity in the connection. Okay, the divine feminine, we'll call it. And if you're a guy watching this, you could be the toughest bloke. You could be working at a construction site, swearing away, you know, drinking beer and stuff, and still be the divine feminine in the relationship because you've got the spiritual awakening. That's why I prefer to use the term spiritual polarity, okay, instead of divine feminine. Okay, so yeah, look, there's some balancing coming in, and what I'm feeling from that card is it's not necessarily going to be pleasant. It might be pleasant for you, you know, it might be just a nice relaxing balancing, but I do feel as though you might be nudged into it, like I have. It's not pleasant, but it's necessary for the journey. You know, it's got to happen. So you got to get out of that separation consciousness of seeing that other person as separate. All right, because they're not. It's not the truth. The truth is you're literally you're one being. Okay. And the true goal is getting to that stage where you've got that union. Okay, that union consciousness. That's the key thing. Not actually being with the person, although I truly believe that once you reach that union consciousness, if that's your choice, you can do it. There are some people that choose not to. Okay, because you've got to remember when you've got those romantic feelings, and you're actually pushing energy on them. Even thinking about them, you're pushing energy onto them. It's just driving them further away. If you're angry at them and you're saying to yourself, I don't want them back, guess what? You're still driving them away. It's when you're basically not thinking at all, and you're in that union consciousness where they really start to come back. All right. Okay, so yeah, maybe not the best of times, but it's necessary, and it's not going to be overly, it's not going to be a long time either. If anything, you may have already been through it, and you may be through on the other end of it. Okay. Now, the other card I drew out was the Death card. Okay. Drew it out in the reverse. What I'm feeling with that is, if you are currently going through this stage, it is ending soon. Okay. If you've started going through that dark night of the soul again, if you've got that uncontrollable crying, the sense of meaninglessness, that is coming to an end. All right. Just remember, meditation is really the key. All right. Because you are connecting in, well, connecting in is not the right word, but you are beginning to realize that unity consciousness, and it's not done through the external world. On a lot of my other videos with energy, I mentioned that you could do the deep breathing and everything, and you can obviously do that with this, but if you're watching this, you have a twin flame, you're going through all this stuff, you really must start meditating. You've got to do it. And I'm not talking about necessarily, you can do guided meditations, I do those, but there needs to be a time where, I'd say at least 20 minutes a day minimum, where you're doing the just plain old vanilla meditation. No music, sitting in silence. If you're just starting out with it, your mind's going to keep racing. Your mind will probably keep thinking about them. Let's face it. The obsessive thoughts keep happening, but they will eventually diminish, and you will eventually see that peace coming through. All right. That time is coming to an end if it hasn't already for you. All right. What it is, it's a new beginning. You're coming into a new stage. All right. With with this particular journey, and everybody's got their own individual journey. It's not necessarily something that's set, but I just feel that most of us have just been through this rough spot, which has been going on for about a month now, probably a little less than a month. That is, I guess the best way of saying it is we're getting to a stage now where the energies are still very high, but we're beginning to control it. All right. Meditation, double down on your meditation. If you're doing 20 minutes, do 40. Okay. It's just gonna be good for you. All right. Okay. So coming into the near future. So I felt as though that card's coming out. All right. Now, I couldn't really necessarily read that card before, but I'm starting to get something now from it while I'm doing the video. What I'm feeling, I feel with this one, for a lot of us, there's a lot of beliefs we have around our parallel incarnations or our other selves, around the whole concept of it. I feel as though, and I'm going to be honest, YouTube doesn't help. Well, hopefully this channel does, but there's a lot of YouTubers out there who are providing a lot of misinformation on the topic. And, I'll be the first to put my hand up and say, look, I think most of them have the best of intentions. I really think they do. They're wanting to help. They're getting on there with the best knowledge that they have. They're really trying to help, but they're making things worse. And there's one group of there's one particular channel, I will not name them, which are particularly insidious. I don't want to name them, but yeah, I won't say any more about that one. But anyway, with this, there's a lot of those beliefs that you may picked up, which are falling away, and they're being replaced with new beliefs that are coming through. All right. So, and then moving on to the Knight of Cups. All right. So, with that one, I haven't really read this one yet. So I picked this one out before. So look, with this one, actually, what I'm really feeling with this one is energy. You know what I'm feeling? Those of us who haven't experienced the Kundalini awakening yet, you're about to. So, that's actually what I felt from that card. All right, so I'm just seeing the red in that card, representing the base, the root chakra, with the energy starting to come through, and I'm really starting to feel the energy just building up in my root chakra at the moment. So I actually, for some reason, thought that I'd been through some of this before, but no, it's starting now. So this is probably 2 years after finding out about the concept, and about a year after everything really starting to happen. Okay, and with the Kundalini awakening, I do feel as though it's just a matter of relaxing into it and allowing it to happen. For those of you who don't know what a Kundalini awakening is, and look, I'll be honest and say I'm not 100% on it. I just know I'm starting to experience it now. Definitely something I need to read up on because I want to know what's going on. It's energy that's rising and awakening through your body. So it's almost like a transformation. Might get back to you on that one once I find out a little bit more information. And I got the Hermit card with that as well. Now, I thought this was a directive for me. There was a directive I had which I thought was for me. But I just feel as though it's for a lot of us at the moment. There's a lot of stuff that we're experiencing that we just need to go through it ourselves. All right. So the Kundalini awakening, a lot of the basically stuff that's happening with our other selves. What I got specifically is, I generally like to talk to friends, and because it helps me to get through things. And I was reminded of, I was actually reminded of a time where I was talking to a friend about my other self, and something we were going to do together. And I remember talking to this work colleague of mine, and almost immediately I got a text message from my other self saying that that particular thing we were planning wasn't going to happen. So, and for those of you who have another self or a parallel incarnation or twin flame, you'll recognise that. They respond pretty much immediately. Or if they don't, there's normally a reason behind it. Okay. Yeah, it's all very textbook stuff. So I think in summary, I do feel as though there's a lot of energies where we are channeling a lot of energies through at the moment. Okay. So there's for those of us who haven't experienced that Kundalini awakening, it's happening now. Or may very well happen soon, especially if you're watching this. Nothing to be afraid of. It's just another step in the journey. All right. So, and I just feel as though sort of keeping things to yourself. All right. Will make sure that it basically helps to make sure that other person's not in your mind, and that you're not actually getting in the way of your own journey. So, as I've said before, this is a a spiritual awakening journey. It's what we call an ascension journey. So we're raising our consciousness to a very high level where a lot of us are. The reason why this is happening is we're basically on on a fast track, I guess you could say. It's not an ego building thing that I'm saying this for. It's actually, it can be quite a painful journey, and part of the reason why I do this is I really feel there's some people that just don't get through it, and I want to make sure that people actually get through it, and that you're not alone in this journey either. All right. And I've certainly needed to know that, and I know that I've got a lot of friends around me as well who do care, and know a lot about the spiritual side of things. I haven't spoken to them directly about this, but they're there and they're offering advice, through their intuition. They know what to say at the right time for me. Okay, even if sometimes the advice isn't all that pleasant or kind, it really is. It's stuff that I need to hear, and I know for me at times I do appreciate the direct response, the direct communication, give it to me brutally sometimes is what I say as well. So, and like I said, we're bringing through a lot of energy at the moment. A lot of us are light workers, and there is basically an ascension for the whole planet at the moment, and that's why all this is happening. It's not necessarily so we can be with our other person, although I honestly believe that we have that choice. I feel for us who have this spiritual polarity, it's more of a conscious choice, but really it's our soul making that decision, which affects both incarnations at the same time. Okay, so look, I hope you've got something out of this. This will be on my my Facebook page as well, so I'll leave a link for the Facebook page down below. If you want an energy reading, let me know. More than happy to help you out with that one, and I will see you all later. Bye.